Hi everyone, it's Jeffrey. It's ripe color. Oh, okay. Before I go live, it's a little dark. Okay. This is the live video for the new moon in Virgo. I don't even know the degree. I should, but I don't. All right, so I'm going to begin with Virgo, and then I'm going to go through all the signs. So the question is, because it's Virgo time, is what would benefit, what do you need to put in order that would benefit you? Okay. So first I'm going to throw, I have two different size cards. First I'm going to throw the large card for the overall energy for Virgo for this new moon. And then I'll use the smaller cards for details. Okay. So let's cut. The past. So the past is what needs to be put in order. Okay. And it's probably a relationship because this is, okay. But I mean, overall, the Six of Cups is really a card of like there's a sweetness to it. There's a gift being offered, right? A gift being offered, a gift being received. And it's like, I don't know, like a remembrance, a sweet remembrance of like a kindness in the past or, some sort of memory. So maybe there's somebody you haven't spoken to in a while that you need to, like, speak to. Okay. Let's see. What the smaller cards say. Let's see. I don't want to knock anything over. I don't want to have anything behind there. No. Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3. Well, there's a lot of movement. All right. I have 2 knights. So this is knights are about action. So it's action, with your thoughts and action in the physical world towards security. Okay. Towards security. Yeah. Maybe, something old needs to be cut out, or a new idea or a new perspective needs to come through as to your understanding of what security is. Is that going to work? I need to move that a little. All right. You've been thinking about it long enough. This is also to stabilize yourself. This is to stabilize yourself so that you can move forward into, a new way of looking at things, a new healing, a new perspective, a new enlightened perspective. That's what I got for Virgo. Okay. I'm back. That was Virgo. Of course, I didn't write down the timing. Well, it ended at 3:20, so I don't know what time it started. Say 2. Okay, and then after Virgo comes Libra. Okay, now we're going to do Libra. So this is for the new moon. Hi, Libra. This is for the new moon on the 24th in Virgo. So the question is, what do you need to put in order? What do you need to put in its place, so to speak, in order for you to be more, balanced? Hi, Rosie. I'm going through the entire horoscope, but I started with Virgo because it's a new moon Virgo. So now I'm going to do Libra, and I'll go through all the signs. All right. I hope you're having a good day. All right, so for Libra, the overall energy is, a revelation. Maybe there's a heartache that you need to deal with, that you need to finally feel and release. There's a revelation in this card. It's interesting. It's like sometimes a broken heart can say, yeah, that really hurt me, and I need to acknowledge it so that I can feel it and move forward. Okay, Libra, let's see what the rest of the cards say. Away we go. Oh, good. That's better. Ah, you need to get clear on it and rebalance so that you can release the anxiety and receive the new opportunities and be in a state of calm. And plant seeds in a new garden. Maybe, you have the seeds that you want to plant, and maybe in the past you planted them in a place that wasn't the right place, and you were disappointed, and, you're trying to manage it. But, the thing is, the sun card is the best card in the deck. So the sun really ignites the whole reading. So maybe there was some disappointment of things that you were trying to balance. It didn't quite get balanced, and you're really worried and anxious over it. But if you get calm, you'll see the opportunity and you'll know where to put the effort. Because maybe, sometimes we like, let's say you want to open a store. I don't know. And, you want to open a store and it's the right idea, but maybe it was the wrong town. Or maybe it was the wrong time of year. But I feel like the crux of it is good and you tried once. So it's time to get back on the horse and try again. That's basically what it is. Because you're clear now. Because this is a great card. This is really about clarity, and it's also about freedom and abundance and nourishment and growth and radiance. It's a really good card. Really good card. So, look, I've been trying. It's in the description. So I'm starting to do home decor. And I put some stuff up on Zazzle, and I'm putting it up on other sites, and one is clunkier than the next. This needs that, and that one needs that, and your description isn't right. And, I've been at it for a couple of days. But I put together like a sacred geometry thing for the house, and it's really nice. I did some posters and pillows, and the pillows are fab. So go check them out. All the information is below. I just did sacred geometry. Okay, Rosie, I'm going to put on my glasses. I can see what you have to say. I want to move out of Florida. Well, if I got the sun would mean to move to another sunny place, right? It would mean a sunny place. Arizona, Texas, Southern California, a sunny place. And there are places in the Midwest that are sunny too, right? Where you can grow, because I got the growth. If that makes sense. All right, Rosie. Now I'm supposed to write down the timing, but I don't. I'm just going to go through. It's too much work. Like at 5 o'clock, like another thing didn't work on some other website I'm trying to upload some stuff on. And it was like, it's 5 o'clock, Mr. AI. It's time for me to like do the video. I'm done. Because I've been working since 10 this morning. Look, at least I got a lot of stuff up on Zazzle. But a lot of these websites are really clunky. They're really clunky. All right, Scorpio. This is for the new moon. Hi, Scorpio. This is for the new moon in Virgo. The overall energy. Bring yourself out from the cold. Even though it might seem like there's no hope, there is hope. There's a change in finances, a change in a sense of security. All right. And best of luck to you, Rosie. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, because it's Rossy, so I think it's Rossi, but Rosie kind of makes more sense. All right. Scorpio. I mean, I think, okay, here's what I got. you know, your sense of security, you're worried about your sense of security. There's something subconscious that needs to come up and be dealt with so that you can take back your power, start on a new journey, and get to work. You know, learning new skills, becoming an expert. You know, so I'm a Scorpio. So, I mean, I can tell you this really relates to me. You know, it's like, this is how I felt, and I really want to be secure, and I'm worried, and there's some subconscious stuff going on, and I have to take hold of it and begin anew and like learn how to like upload all these things to, I'm trying not to curse, uh, to like these home sites, you know, because my designs are good, my ideas are good, I have tons of stuff, and I've just got to like get serious and do what I need to do to bring myself in from the cold. Well, Rosie, I am a Scorpio. I'm a November 7th, I'm like a 14, 15 degree Scorpio. I have Scorpio, Mercury, Neptune, Ceres conjunct to like at 14, 15 degrees. And there are actually, I think, and I think I have two more. There's two more, but they're not in the middle. Whatever. I'm on a Scorpio. All right. Now, that was Scorpio next to Sagittarius. Yeah, the energy, you know, 'cause it's Virgo season, is like things need to be put in order. Things need to, you know, that's what Virgo, I have Virgo rising, so like I know where everything is. Uh, you know, I'm very organized. I really am. All right, Sagittarius. The overall energy for Sagittarius for this new moon, and the question is, what do you need to put in order to make your life more comfortable? What do you need to set in order to make things work more efficiently? Your emotions. This is also, he's the great listener. For me, the King of Cups is the great listener, and he listens to his heart. That's what he does. He listens to his heart. So he lets his, so that's what, you know, needs to come into order. How do I feel? Does this hold love for me? Right? He's also a diplomat. So there's this energy of compassion. Okay, Sagittarius, let's see. 1, 2, 3. Okay, here we go. Oh, yeah. All right. I mean, she's the queen of self-love and nurturing and practicality. And then there's this opportunity to have a fight, but it's like you could win the fight, but at what cost? You know, be the healer. You know, offer the healing. You know, if you know, if it's at a standstill, be the one to step up and say, "Listen, I want to work this out." And I think it's with somebody in the family. You've been disappointed in the past. And the thing is, you know, all the fives are really weird. Weird. The fives, Sunsis, is that right? Okay. Hi. The fives are all about perspective. Like this is really this card of like disappointment, but there's still two cups behind him. So he needs to concentrate on those and not concentrate so much on, you know, what's lost. Concentrate on what you got. Yeah. The end of a way of thinking. I have two tens, and tens are about endings. Well, I'll tell you why. This card could be about a fight, but it could also be about not following this guy's lead anymore. It's like they're going back to the farm. So sometimes this card is a truce, right? This card is a truce. And then you get this guy coming along And he, pages have this energy of like, I don't know, naivete. They're inexperienced. He wears his heart in his sleeve. He's just sweet. He's just sweet. So just be sweet, right? So that, like everything's cool in the family, and it's like, oh, but I've been just so disappointed. It's like, end that way of thinking so that something new can come along. Because that's what, the compassionate guy does. That's what he does. All right. Let's move on to Capricorn. I like your little sunflower emoji. I don't know how to do emojis. It's very confusing to me. What do you mean I have to press the button? I can't find like the images that I want. All right. Next is Capricorn. We had some rain this afternoon. It was nice. It like cleared it. All right, Capricorn, this is for the new moon in Virgo, August 24th. And, what would it, what do you need to put in order that would be to your benefit? Is the question. And the answer is da 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 da. Oh, something needs to end. This card is I've been reading cards for a long time, and yeah, I know all the meanings and all that. But as you continue to read, like I don't know, the cards sort of like they sort of have a bent at a certain moment. And whenever I see the world is the last card in the deck. But the thing about the world is, to put it into a metaphor, let's say you made a cake, right? And you made the cake and it came out good, and you iced it and everything, and it's all pretty. And then you get all anal about, I don't have a candle, so it can't be somebody's birthday, or I don't have the right plate to put it on, and so it's no good. It's like the cake is done. Serve the cake so you could move on. Yeah, there's this element of it's done. And oh, but I have to go back. It's like, no, it's time to move on to the next thing. Well, hearts always work, Deborah. We love hearts. What I mean, hold on. And then I get very anal because, you want what you want. And my phone really doesn't have that many. And it has flowers. But it doesn't have like the weird flowers that I want. Oh my God, I love carrot cake. Oh my God. I used to have a really, really, really good recipe. I left that book in New York. The book was called, what was it called? The Vegetable Lover's Cookbook. And it was only vegetable recipes. So they would, so they had like, I don't know, 10 vegetables or whatever it was. And they would start with soups, maybe a bread if it was appropriate. And then they'd go into like a main or like a really good side dish. And then they would have dessert. And there was a carrot cake recipe. And it was written in the 80s. It was like these two Midwestern, it was very like an American cookbook. And their carrot cake recipe was great. And I made it a few times. But if I start baking, I'll get fat. Hi, Jen. Oh, I love carrot cake. All right. So, Capricorn, right? Were we up to Capricorn? Yeah. It's done. Whatever the energy is that you're not sure, it's done. And what are you moving into? Oh, what's done is the heartache. It's double done. It's double done. I should be a poet. Yeah, all the anxiety. It's time to let go of the anxiety and begin anew. Wow. Look at this. You know, it's time to heal the past. Wow. This is a big healing. This is a big healing. So, you know, this is this card of disappointment. This is a card of anxiety. Um, this is done. This is a card of heartache. Done again. You know, there's something in the past that needs to be reconciled so that you can move into something new. You know, interesting. This is a healing. This is a healing. It's done. The cycle is over. The anxiety is done. You could let go of the heartache of the past and, you know, change your emotional state by realizing what still is worthwhile, right? And then begin anew. It's fascinating when I get the first and the last card. So what that means to me, you know, like in this 2 week period, because basically a new moon reading is a two week period until the full moon, is you know, there's going to be a lot going on that you're going to recollect and have a chance to heal and finally be cured of. Wow. Okay, Capricorn. Next is Aquarius. All right, Aquarius, this is the reading for the new moon and Virgo. It is the message, right, for everyone. It's funny, sometimes there's certain months that like there's a theme that kind of goes through the signs. And then there are certain months where it's 12 completely different readings. But that's the way it feels. It feels like there's old heartache and old resentment that needs to finally be released. Seems like that for everyone. Okay. That I'm up to Aquarius, right? Yeah. Oh, you even have a heart with a bandage on it. How cute. All right. Aquarius. Let's see what the overall energy is. The healing. Lovely. The rebalancing. This is an interesting card, right? Because he's the alchemist. So alchemy is really about taking whatever it is and boiling down to its essence and both the dark and light of it, right? And then combining those two to make the gold, basically. So it's not about dismissing the past, it's about utilizing it. Okay. Aquarius. I forget where I am. Oh, and I opened a home goods store. How exciting. It's all sacred geometry and it's a very sophisticated palette. And I did posters and pillows. And I'm going to be doing more on open different sites on different sites. You know what's happening is that I'm forgetting my English. Yeah, it's time to grab hold of your passion. You know, the old stuff worked, but it was limited. This has this energy of adventure, something I haven't done before, something that's bigger. I've got the world in my hands. And it's very entrepreneurial, and it can lead to being very comfortable in the physical world. You know, this one's rich. She's really rich. But the thing is, with her wealth, she made her own money. This one. She's a smart one. She's very entrepreneurial. And follow your instinct. Like, yeah, because you know what happens? Sometimes we get an idea of something, and then either you talk yourself out of it, or you know, you tell somebody, and they're like, "That'll never work." Like, keep it to yourself, work on it, and then when it's done, it's say, "Oh, by the way." So, because like, let's say 2 or 3 weeks ago, I would have said to somebody or anybody, oh, I'm going to open a home goods store. Oh, that won't work. And there's so much competition. Oh, oh, you have to use these colors. Ah, this is interesting. Feels like someone's going to come along and offer you something, and you're going to say no. And I think it's the good thing to say no because it's like my lesson has been learned. Maybe it's somebody who, like in the past, has like not come through, or they say that, or maybe it's somebody new and it's like, I've heard it all before. Thanks, but no, I got it. I got it. And then the lesson is truly learned. Sometimes when we think, this is my experience, when I think I've let go of a certain energy or a certain experience, and I truly have, it comes back to visit. And it comes back to visit. It's almost like my soul wants to see if I really learned it. So it's almost like that one last time. It's like, no, I don't think so. Sometimes he is the false knight. Sometimes, not always. Not always. I mean, he can also be the knight in shining armor. He can also be the healer, right? The one who offers his heart. Sometimes he is the false knight, especially when I had the 4 afterwards. That's why I read him like that. The cards have to go together. Right. All right, that was Aquarius, and now we're into Pisces. Also cups, cups are about feeling, about healing, about intuition. They're about romance. But cups can also be somebody who's only, well, no matter who the person is, and whether it's a king or the queen or the knight or the page, that they're only in their feeling, right? Well, I feel like spending all the money, you know. I feel like, you know what I mean? But then they don't have the balance of the mind, of the instinct. It's just how they feel. You see what I mean? So they have to be read as a little story. Okay, this is Pisces. Okay, Pisces, this is new moon in Virgo, which is your opposite, so this should be interesting. Okay, so the question is, what do I need to put in order? Hi, Kiki. What do I need to put in order to make my life more comfortable in this new moon season in Virgo? Oh, look, yay! It's like he's sitting pretty. This one this is the wish card. This is what I get from this card always? Safety. He feels emotionally safe. He feels loved. He feels protected. He feels blessed. So, maybe it's just about maintaining that feeling. Yeah, the Nine of Cups, is really lovely. A really lovely card. Nines are about attainment. And, he's attained his heart's desire emotionally. It's really a nice card. Okay, Pisces. Yeah, it's taken you a while to get there. You've had to rebalance things, but now you have a clear head and a real vision of what it is that makes you happy, right? And maybe you have some really loving people around you that are offering more love. See, now I'm reading that like this now because I have the balance card here. I have like this card of warmth and safety. So Yeah. And, the community that you're involved in also, like there's a lot of commonality. Now, here I would say, take the gift because of what's around, because this one can go either way. Generally, he doesn't take the gift, but sometimes it's like he doesn't take the gift because he's bored. Because he's like, oh, it wasn't exactly what I wanted. Like, let's say you need a new suitcase, just for an example, right? You're going on vacation. You don't really want to buy one. And your friend says, oh, I have an extra suitcase. And then they bring it over and it's like some color you don't like. It's like, just be gracious and take the suitcase. That way you don't have to go buy a suitcase. And if it's a weird color, it'll be easier to find on that thing anyway. Yeah. Move forward with your passion, with the gratitude. Move forward with the love that's being offered. Move forward with the things that make you happy. It's a really nice reading. It's a really nice reading. Because sometimes Pisces, I can give you these heavy duty emotional readings. This is like chill out. Everything's good. You're grateful. Surround yourself with the people who you love and who love you. Receive, you know, and build on it. Do something with it. Because I have this card of happiness. You're balancing, in a really clear manner. Your finances, your security, and then here comes these two lovely knights to support you emotionally and in terms of your passion. So I would say take the gift because that's how you can build things in community. That's really nice. Okay, that was Pisces. All right, and I offer readings. I opened a home decor store, very exciting. I have chakra art available. I'm getting more involved on Pinterest. Because honestly, I really like making pretty things. I really like making pretty things. Makes me happy. All right, that was Pisces, and now we officially begin the horoscope, the zodiac. Now we're into Aries. All right, all right, Aries. So this is for the full moon in Virgo, the new moon in Virgo tomorrow, the 23rd. Maybe it won't rain tonight. Usually it rains in the evening, but it rained this afternoon. We'll see. Oh, thanks, Jen. I'm really proud of it. It came out really good. I did just sacred geometry. I did the tree of life, the flower of life, Metatron's cube. I did this other weird lotus one. And what else did I do? I did something else. Yin yang. Yeah. And I kept like to a certain palette and. And I'm going to open more stores, but I have to find other websites that host. And I was trying to upload to one today, and it was not easy. So it was like time to make the video. It was 5 o'clock. It was like time to make the video. All right, Aries. Okay. This one has a really clear vision. She's got a really clear vision. So what you need to put in order is your thoughts. Oops. Exactly, Rosie. That's exactly it. Have you ever had a gift returned? It is the most hurtful thing that someone can do. I mean, if they take it and they throw it away, or if they even give it away, or whatever, just say thank you. And, that's it. A gift returned is just, yeah. All right. Um, I'm sorry, I got off on a tangent. Aries. Yeah. How can I love myself and make the things that nourish me grow and let go of the disappointment? and let go of this feeling that I'm not welcome, and begin anew. Wow. I have 3 5s here. 5 is all about change. 5s are all about change. Yeah, it's very interesting, right? 3 5s. 5s are really about change, but 5s are, and 5s, you have this opportunity to go backwards or to go forwards, to be in the light or to be in the dark. All the 5s are like that. I'm going to show you all the cards. The thing is with her, she's traditionally the widow, right? So the way I understand her is like, I've already cried my tears. I have a clear vision of the future. Nothing's going to stop me. I have a really clear vision. I already cried my tears, right? And I really need to take care of myself. And what's changing is, it's time to let go of the grief. It's time to let go of the fight, of the words, and to let go of this feeling of not being secure. It's time to build in the garden of self-love so that I could begin anew. That's quite the reading. That was Aries. All right. Aries, Taurus. Okay, Taurus, I'm coming. Now, if you want a one-on-one, contact me. Go see my Home Goods. Get a reading. Okay. Shuffle, reshuffle. Yeah, Jen, I really like designing for the house. I went to design school, you know, and, I make paintings and this and that, but these are going to be much more accessible, that way they deliver it, or, it's just easier. And honestly, I'm always redecorating my house too. All right, that was Aries. So next is Taurus. Let me just shuffle a little bit. All right, Taurus. So the question is, in this new moon in Virgo, is what do you have to put in order that would make your life more comfortable, make your life more at ease? I'm just going to cut. Wow, everything. Something has to die so that something new can live. Something has to be set, just let it. I had a thing, I get a message every day in the morning. I sit on the roof, and I got this really strong message this week. And I don't know what day it was, but it was like, whatever's supposed to go away, let it go away. Don't try to hold on to it. And whatever's supposed to come in, let it come in. It's really simple, really simple. All right, Taurus. I mean, the death card is really about complete transformation, just is. Yeah, you're leaving what once was important to you emotionally because you have somewhere else to go. Your heart is calling you towards something else. And you're done with the anxiety. You're done with telling yourself you can't do it. And you know what it is you have to give up, and you're willingly giving it up. Wow. You're strong enough to see this through. You're strong enough to see this through. You have a really clear vision. And you'll be supported. You'll be supported. Wow. I have 3 big cards here. This is about transformation. This is the willing self-sacrifice to release all the anxiety and worry and move to where it's warm, move to where you're being called. You're loved and supported through it, anxiety and worry, and move to where it's warm, move to where you're being called. You're loved and supported through it. You have a really clear vision, and you've cut out all the stuff that's unnecessary, And you know, you're in touch with your higher self, the eternal part of yourself, to help you tame your passion in order to make this so. Wow. Wow. That's a big reading. All right, that was Taurus. Next is Gemini. I like doing these live readings. I didn't write down the timing this time, and I'm not going to go over the video, so just have to watch the whole thing. I'm usually so good about that, and then I always miss one, you know, because I start talking. All right, this is Gemini for the new moon, and Virgo, which is on the 23rd, which is tomorrow. And the question is, what do you have to put in order to make yourself more comfortable? Because think of that Virgo energy. You know, Virgo has this energy of like everything's in its place. You know, very meticulous, very organized, very in the mind. Okay, Gemini. Your heart needs to be put in order. All right. And Nancy and I, we just finished the classes, but we're probably going to begin again. I haven't even spoken to her. Probably September. You know, it's usually like a fall thing. Wow, I have double. Look at that. All right. Your subconscious is talking to you, and your dreams are talking you toward being secure and loving. Both of them. Really nice. And another one. Wow. It's like you're enveloping these energies of these queens. Yeah, you know what it feels like? It feels like you're going to get in touch with pieces and parts of yourself, like archetypes inside yourself, that know how to make money, that know how to be kind and loving, utilize the intuition, and take hold of the instinct and toward new endeavors, toward new endeavors. Oh my God. I mean, I have 4 characters here. It's incredible. So there are people around you. There are people around you who have enough money, who have the passion, and who are very loving that can help you toward seeing things in a new light, toward a healing, toward a new opportunities that are really guided by the heart. I have 3 cups. It's all really guided by the heart. That's really beautiful. That's really beautiful. All right, that was Gemini. You know, it's interesting. You know, I lived in New York I don't know if everyone knows my story, but I lived in New York for a really long time. And I lost my apartment in the fire. And I had so much stuff, but like so much stuff. And it's all gone. So I was able to like save some clothes and not much more, really. And so now I really don't have that much stuff. I mean, there are a few things I kind of need, but I don't have as much stuff, and it's kind of, in a way, it's kind of nice. It's also, you know, Mexico City is super polluted. Like the amount of dust that I get in this apartment is like insane. So it's like more surfaces, more dust, more cleaning, more pain. All right, Capricorn. I mean, Cancer. I got your opposite. This is the reading for Cancer for the new moon in Virgo, which is on the 23rd, which is tomorrow of August. And the question is, what do you have to put in order to make yourself more comfortable? Your self-care. Your self-care. Like, where are you planting the seeds? You know, you're planting the right seeds in the right garden. And this is physical self-care. So it could be diet, it could be sleep, it could be, it's like, okay, it's time to love and nourish myself in a practical way. Okay, Cancer. And how does one do that? The opportunities will arise if you get still and like sit and ask yourself, you know, sit and ask yourself, what can I do that could bring more love into my life? What can I do to help me love myself more so that I can transform and be more loving? What am I willingly giving up so that I can see things from a spiritual perspective and be more comfortable? So, you know, sometimes the readings are like a question thing, and this is really more like a question. So it's like, well, you know, there's a certain habit I have that I know isn't the best for me, so I need to look at that and change it. You know, but it's a very loving. It's not like it's very loving. It's very loving. But there's this opportunity to really transform. It's really very spiritual. It's like this deep, you know, because I put them away already and I put them in the wrong order. But if I have these two together, I mean, this is the big transformation. And this is a really, really spiritual card. So the question asked in the Hanged Man is, the energy is I sacrifice myself to my light. Where would my light have me be? Where would my soul's highest good have me be? Very interesting. Okay, that was Cancer. And I only have one more. Okay, and then I'll do for the collective. All right. Next is Leo. Yeah, because I started Virgo. Yeah. I like to do a different order every month. Hmm. Okay, Leo. Okay, Leo, so the question is, since we're going to the new moon in Virgo, what do I need to put in order that would make my life more comfortable? My heart, my feelings, my sense of compassion for myself and others. Okay. Shuffle, shuffle. Da, 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 da. Yeah. Don't get involved in a fight that's worthless. No one ever wins this fight. Everybody just screams. Nothing ever happens. So, like, you know, avoid that. Yeah, because you already know. You already know. You've already been down that road. You've already been down that road. Don't take the bait. Know that you're loved and supported. And keep yourself in a state of harmony so you don't get disappointed. This is about autonomy. This is really about autonomy. This is like, I do my thing, I take care of myself, everything's good. People want to involve me in their drama, I ain't going there. I do my thing, I take care of myself, everything's good, people want to involve me in their drama, I ain't going there. I ain't going there, I ain't going there, I ain't going there, it leads nowhere, it gets me upset, I'm not going down that road. That's the message. All right, now let's do it for the collective. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I do the collective first, sometimes I do the collective at the end. This time I'm doing it at the end. Okay, hello collective. So this is for everyone in the whole wide world. What do we need to be putting in order for all of us to be more comfortable, to be more at ease, to be more at ease? Okay, the Tower. The Tower is a fascinating card. So the Tower basically is moving like, it's like an earthquake. The Tower is like this unforeseen thing coming and destroying what you thought was stable. And while it's happening, it's like, no, this is not happening. But in fact, it is. And it's happening because you're vibrating at a higher level, because there's more. Sometimes we get very stuck in our ways and very stuck in a way of life or a way of thinking or a job or a house or a relationship or, a combination of those things. And then, like, the curveball comes and it's like, oh, I can't believe this. And it's like, the opportunity wouldn't have come had it not crumbled. Sometimes it's like you're forced to look for a job, or you're forced to move, or you're forced, and, even though it doesn't seem pleasant at the time, there's always a blessing at the end of it. All right. That's an interesting card for the collective, I gotta tell you. And look, we live in a world now of expect the unexpected. So, like, what's going to surprise you? That it's snowing and on the equator? Would that really surprise you anymore? Wouldn't surprise me. Treat yourself with love. Listen with your heart. Listen, see, hear, feel with your heart. And be kind to those who don't feel like they have a place, and kind to that part of yourself that doesn't feel like you belong. Because in fact, the sun radiates on all of us. In fact, the blessings are here for all of us. Yeah. The wheel is turning and the cycle is changing, really for our own benefit. And, but when that wheel's going around and it's pretty fast, it feels like you can fall off like those things that they put the kids on when you go around and around. If you sit in the middle of it, you don't go anywhere. But if you're on the end of it and you're not in the center of your own being, of your own life, you fly off the end. So maintain your center in yourself. And then, you'll be able to see through any calamity that happens on the outside. Thank you. Happy Virgo, too. Yeah, something new is going to be established. Actually, this is what I think. I think this is anything that's really established. So this is government, this is religion, this is marriage, this is law, this is universities, corporations, any of that kind of stuff. Anything with columns. Think of it like that. Anything with columns, right? So, okay. Banks, all that. And it's going to happen real quick. When's your birthday, Jen? Virgo begins, oh, it just began. Today, the first day of Virgo? Or yesterday? Happy Virgo season. Yeah. Let me continue with this because this is the collective. I feel like this is a reading that's bigger than all of us. I'm going to throw a few more, okay? And I'll be back. All right. I'm going to throw 3 more and see what else. Okay, well, then there's new. Wow. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Okay. Here is like something that we thought was stable is collapsing, but it's being brought into the light. And then the ones who were left out are going to be welcomed because the diplomat is here. Things are changing, but on all levels of government, religion, corporations, etc. It's going to happen really quick. It's been based in some sort of illusion. Oop. I'm always afraid to have something behind the computer, like a vase that I'm going to break, but I don't have one. Okay, because it's been based in illusion and based in addiction. But there's a new light coming through. Yeah, something has to end so that something new can begin. Should be a very interesting 2 weeks. That is for sure. I mean, you could feel it. You could feel it. It's just insane what's going on, what's not going on. And that's why you have to maintain your center. It's like, oh, I'm relying on this outside entity to take care of me. I'm like, we have to rely on our own hearts and our own heads and each other. Oh, well, the government will take care of it. The corporation will take care of it. The law will take care of it. Really? Will it? Yeah, new moons are really more about new beginnings than the full moon. New moon is really the new beginning, and the full moon is the culmination. I mean, I do energy on both. So I'm going to get myself a little candle, light my candle, do a prayer. And the other thing that I do is I write down the things that I'd like to bring in, and I write them on a piece of paper, and I write them in the present tense. So let's say I want to learn how to play the harmonica, just for an example. I play the harmonica really beautifully, because, right? And then you write 2 other things, and then I plant it. I plant it. I mean, I have pots upstairs. So I planted in one of my plants. Or, planted in the park. Yeah. Hi, Gina. So that's the energy. Should be very interesting. And it's time to let go, for the overall energy, what it feels like. It's time to let go of the pain. It's time to let go of the sorrow, all the past hurts and stuff. It's like we don't want to carry that. We don't want to carry that. And, and then get a beautiful Flower of Life poster and a Metatron's Cube pillow to put on your couch and contemplate on. They are available below. Actually, I did olive. I did olive with copper, and then I did like a dark gray with like pewter, and then ivory with bronze, and then navy with either silver or navy with bronze. And then I did bronze with white. That's my little color palette. And then like the pillows, I got a little more colorful. Some little orange, little yellow. But they're really nice, and I'm really proud of them. And I'm going to be adding more. So either to that site or other sites. Anyway, yeah, I'm now a decorator. I'm an author, I'm a decorator, I'm a painter, I'm a tarot reader, I'm a healer. Like, open yourself up. You know, we all have a lot more gifts than we think. All right. Thank you all for joining me and for being here. Go check out the all the stuff below. I do readings, etc., or healings. I'm making a lot of art, and have a really lovely, you know, the end of August is really, there's something magical about like the light in August. There really is. It's like this kind of magic weirdness. It's like summer's ending, fall's beginning. The light is just the loveliest of the year, in my humble opinion. All right. Blessings, blessings. See you soon.